Hello, BB Gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice. This is a very, personal case, which we have personal cases before in Ace Attorney games, but I feel like this is one of those things for us as players, for me, and I think for you guys as well, would feel the same. When it's one of, your own friends, it becomes like an even more personal matter. Now, we have emotions all the time, say for I'll be in the last trial. We were already emotionally attached and wanted to help him. But there's something that's so instantly just oh my god, I need to do something, when it's Athena or Apollo, or in this case Trucy's in trouble. You desperately or Phoenix. It's this is a personal matter now, instantly. It becomes personal matters in other trials, I feel when we grow to love other characters, but this is instantly personal, and I want so desperately to help Trucy out, I do. So we're going to be moving on to, I guess we're going to be exploring different areas here as well. I think we're going to go to the theater probably first, and maybe the dressing room and stuff like that too. Is there anything we can say to Athena first? It's so hard for Trucy, yet you saw how bravely she held back her tears. It's very rough. It's rough to see her like this. Maybe you should practice a little of that bravely holding back your tears thing too. And again, he's obviously doing a little joke with her as well, but of course he knows Athena can be emotional if she wants to be. And by maybe I mean your nose is running again. Give her a tissue instead. Enough with this. It's not shaming. Haven't you ever heard the song Into Each Life, Some Buggers Must Fall? Is that a song? I'll take your word for it. I mean, again, I'm always of that, and again, I know Apollo is too. Whenever Apollo, Athena, and Trucy are have that, the triple threat of going around and making fun of each other. They, as you said, playfully bully Apollo, and he will poke fun of them too. It's because they're close. It's one of those situations from the outside. If I was that's so mean, Apollo, why would you say that? It's no, they have such a close relationship now. All these characters, what to do? We have to investigate the Penrose Theater from top to bottom. Yeah. And talk to every single person involved as well. Wow, you're really fired up. Of course, Trucy's entire future depends on this. Exactly. It's personal almost instantly. The agency's entire financial future too. Yeah. You have to look at it from all angles like that. It is one of those situations where this is Trucy. You know what I mean? So should we go start from the outside, or should we go to the dressing room first? I guess we could start from outside and see what happens. Yeah. April 27th. Penrose Theater. The person you are trying to call is not available. After the tone, please record. Were you trying to call someone? I've tried calling Mr. Wright 100 times, but he never picks up. And again, that's so realistic, them trying to get through to Phoenix even in these moments. You've left him some voicemails, so he'll probably get a call once he gets them. He's going to flip out when he hears what happened to Trucy. Yeah, 100%. Hey, this is the place, the theater where that magical murder happened? Is there people coming here as tourists already? Oh yeah, I wonder if they brought the dead body out yet. I hear they already arrested the murderer. They say it's a young girl. Yeah, high school student. Can you believe it? Kids these days. No. Get them. Get these guys. Jump them. What's with all the curious bystanders? They sure are kicking up a fuss. How dare they call Trucy a murderer? This is what happens. We said this last time. Regardless if she's innocent, people will see a headline and bite into it, right? They will, 100%. And sometimes it can be true, sometimes it can be, but in this case, it's one of those things where the tabloids injected their own opinions into this, and now Trucy to a lot of people is seen as a murderer. And it's unfair. It's totally unfair. An opinion shouldn't have been injected into this at all. They got some nerve. They do. We can't let people think that about her at all. We have to defend her. Apollo, is that you? Wait, who's it? What? Are you serious, Emma? I love when they bring back old characters as well. Emma Skye has one of the coolest designs in the game. But I feel like if you say that about Ace Attorney character, if I said right now, blank name, one of the coolest designs ever, you could insert so many names. It sure has been a while. How have you been? How have you been? I'm doing good. Well, Apollo's not doing great right now. Can't complain. I haven't seen you in ages. Emma's not usually in the best of moods, so I never quite know what to do or say around her. Well, you have some business to take care of, so I guess you better get going. We do have a lot of business. Look at this pose. Hey, wait a minute. What was this, something I said? You're darn right it's something you said. What's it you brushing me off like this, Dad? Well, maybe we could explain to Emma, because I feel like of all people we could explain this to, it's Emma, right? And explain to her what's happening. She'd understand why you're so in such a rush to deal with this stuff. We got heaps to catch up on. After all we've been through. You're not still mad at me about something, are you? No, no way. Oh my god, the pouting. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Please, I feel like the one person we could explain to is Emma, you know? Who's this, Apollo? You haven't met Emma? Oh, yeah. Wow. Because, wait. Like, I don't think Emma was involved in Athena's cases last time. I think she was in Apollo Justice. For sure. I remember she was in the case about the noodle stand, right? That was when she first appeared in Apollo Justice, I think. A distant cousin or something? No, Emma's a detective I've had the pleasure working with before. It was a pleasure. Oh my god, the glasses is so good. Hello, Emma Sky, forensic investigator. What? So you're finally a full-fledged Okay, so we're moving up in the world. This music as well. Oh, look at the smile. She's a really pretty smile. Yeah, I finally achieved my lifelong dream. Look, I even had official forensic investigator armband and everything. Okay, very cool. That's pretty cool. That's great, Emma. I bet the exam was really hard, huh? Oh, it was a cinch. Really? Because I thought you said something about failing it over and over. I mean, you know, you gotta fail sometimes for things to be easy eventually, you know what I mean? You know? I remember I used to die to, like, bosses in Shard of the Colossus, and now I can beat that game with my eyes closed, you know what I mean? Sometimes it becomes easy after it was hard for a while. Well, never mind that. The important thing is, I'm not playing old detective anymore. So no more boring old investigation for me. That's awesome. I love like the growth we see in these games. Not just in like, you know, this music is awesome. The music in this game is always awesome. But like, you know, the way that we saw the growth in like where Trucy is now. We saw Pearls in the last game. You know, you see these characters grow older. Like, you know, Phoenix is 35. You know what I mean? And you see like how they change over time and like their new professions and the things they've been through. And like, it really just makes all these worlds feel so alive. You know what I mean? Seeing that she's gotten this far as well. I'm so happy I can hug the whole world, yeah? Come from you, that's really something. I love the kind of like very like futuristic kind of like science-y song in the background too. Criminals beware, yeah. Fingerprinting, luminol testing, DNA analysis, Emma Sky is raring to go, so bring it on. Are they trying to say that we can maybe get Emma Sky to help us during this as well? Wow, I guess it's goodbye, grumpy clouds. Hello, fanatical sun. That's a great way to put it. She's very cheerful, isn't she? Is it because of the weather or something? She's just, honestly, I think we could do a little lie and say she's cheerful all the time. But I never, like, for me personally, I guess maybe I just, like, react to people different ways. Like, Emma Sky was always just, like, a really helpful character to me. Which, again, Apollo said that, too. She worked with us on the previous trial as well. She sure wasn't like that before. She was pretty frustrated back when she was assigned to the Criminal Affairs Department. So I think it's also interesting, too. She's a lot happier now that she's in a place where she wants to be. And she was munching on chocolate. Oh, she was for your stress. I love her hair, love the glasses, the outfit's always so cool. It's just a really like perfect design. Snackos and stress are a thing of the past. I've sick of... What? Well, first of all, happy that there's no stress, but no Snackos is an interesting thing as well. I mean, you never have to see either again. I think it's also like interesting too, like, you know, when people say like a haircut shows a change in your life, but even like, you know, maybe like a change in what you eat or change in like how you approach things, you know what I mean? Oh, I no longer do that, I do this. You know, I think that shows a change too, like on a ground level. That is because of a bigger change. By the way, are you here because of the murder? Yes. Oh, she's heard about it. Yeah, of course she has. Don't you mean the accident? Very good. Because I didn't correct it there because I'm so used to every trial being about a murder, which I still think it will be about a murder maybe in the end as well. But I think that's probably why I wouldn't correct it. But yeah, Apollo's good for correcting this right now at least, because it's one of those situations where we're like, we don't want to paint Trucy as a murderer, right? And I guess you haven't heard. The case is being treated as a straight up homicide now. Wow, because originally it was involuntary manslaughter. Now it's a freaking homicide. That's really bad. Just so you know, I heard the prosecution is going to argue tomorrow that Trucy out. What the hell? Oh my god. And here's the thing, like, I'm not surprised in like, on, you know, like I said, on the basic level, I'm not surprised because this is like, you know, this is what the prosecution would do. Try to make it out that she's like a cold-blooded murderer. But one thing I do feel though, as I'm doing this, is like, there is like a feeling of like, Jesus, man, like there's like it hits my heart because now I know that Trucy is like technically charged for murder. Or at least like going to be on trial for murder. It goes from proving that like she wasn't responsible for an accident to proving that she didn't kill someone. What? Are you kidding? They're treating it as a murder. It's really bad. Emma, please tell us everything you know. Of course. Anything to help Trucy. Great stuff. Yeah, really cool bumping into Emma Sky here as well. Yeah, that's difficult. That's so difficult because like it's as we said, like I think trauma-wise and like, you know, emotionally, like it was already gonna be so difficult because I think one of the things that, you know, like, you know, I always talk about how like our brains sometimes protect us from certain things, you know what I mean? Our brains go, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. But obviously Trucy's already in a really highly emotional state, knowing that like she's being blamed for an accident that happened. And I think that's what no one corrected me, so I'm assuming that's what involuntary. I didn't get a chance to look it up, I'll be honest, but like that's what I think involuntary manslaughter is. It's like you do something that's negligent that hurts somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, use a nail gun or an axe. You know what I'm saying. But it goes from like this thing where she's upset, rightly so, that like people are blaming her for possibly causing the accident with what happened with Gramarye. With Mysterious. Now it's like she's being blamed for directly, vindictively trying to kill someone. So different, right? And how she's already, you know, breaking down already, you know? Let's talk to her then about what we can. The incident. Why is the case being treated as a homicide now and not involuntary manslaughter? Well, apparently... Great poses here. There's something that proves it was a... What? What? How? Well, that's vague. Do you know any of the details? No. I'm afraid that's all I was told. Love the music here as well. Really? How come? Well, because the lead prosecutor is kind of a hard guy to read. Oh, we don't know who the prosecutor is going to be. I just thought of that. Well, maybe it's just a culture gap thing. Anyway, he's not one to really share his thoughts. Wait, what do you mean by culture gap? He's from a different culture, I guess. I mean, he's a foreigner, so his way of going about things is different. So he's not from, I think they treat this as like a mixture of like Japan and America, right? At least people told me that before about the Ace Attorney world. So exactly I'm up against tomorrow. Oh my god, we're gonna find out the new prosecution. I didn't even think about that for 1 second because I think I was so focused on the Trucy thing. Emma, congrats on finally becoming the forensic investigator you always wanted to be. Thanks. I failed the exam so many times, but I finally did it. So happy for you. She's just a golden, like, when she's happy, she's like, you know, I understand, I want to make it clear as well, when I say, like, you know, like, I love her, like, her smile, like, you know, like, I loved Emma when she was also, like, you know, a little more serious, you know what I mean, and a little more protective of her work and stuff like this, too. 100%, like, I adore her as a character, but I'm happy that she's happy is what I'm saying. I can finally use my forensic kit to openly whenever I want. Oh, yeah? You used to have the stealth kit to use as a kit you sent away for. Sorry, guys. Messing with words. Happens once per episode. Well, I still use that one, too. But now, it's more of a hobby kit. It's important to have hobbies, too, you know? So basically, nothing's changed. Are you kidding? I don't have to worry about getting in trouble for taking fingerprints for fun now. Hell yeah, but it's possibly life-changing. I can take all the prints I want. Are you sure you're allowed to do that? Sure, I'm sure. I've been collecting all the prints I've taken into a personal database. Now hold your hands. I need to get your prints too. Sure, take them. Just promise me you won't use them for evil. I can't believe she took my prints too, Apollo. I mean, honestly, like, it's funny that just on the base level of Emma going around taking people's fingerprints because she loves doing it, but also at the same time too, like, I actually do trust Emma quite a bit with the fingerprints. So I'm like, it's probably better she does have them than doesn't have them. The prosecution. Oh my god. Oh no, I got a heart attack. I thought they were gonna say that like Edgeworth was like going up against us. I legit was like, wait. Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth has been reorganizing the prosecutor office lately. As a part of that effort, he has gotten rid of a lot of corrupt prosecutors, which is what happened to the Payne family, right? So the prosecutor's office is looking pretty empty these days. And that's how a foreign prosecutor got assigned to the case? That's part of it. Yes. We're short on prosecutors. And this guy just happened to be visiting. I love the music, the way like with the key changes from high to low there. I love it. It's really cool. And what's the purpose of his visit? Well, some insurgents from the Kingdom of Khura'in are taught to be That's such an interesting way of doing it. Like Phoenix goes over to Khura'in to be a defense lawyer, and someone goes over from Khura'in to be a prosecutor. As an international prosecutor, he apparently came to investigate the matter personally. So he's from the Kingdom of Khura'in. So wait, are they saying that there's insurgents here? And I guess it's a situation where like the kingdom would have like a diplomatic right, I guess, to investigate over here if they have a relationship with people. Because if you can get if it's one of the situations where, like, I know some countries don't have, like, that connection. Like, I know Europe has that connection. All of Europe, I think, has that connection, like, with different laws and stuff like that too. But I don't know how it changes, like, if it, like, America's the same as Europe or like that too. I think America would still also have the right to look at that too, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so I guess it's like one of those things where, like, they can, like, bring the insurgent deal over here and deal with it over here too, and like bring them back. I guess. Again, I never know, like, how that works. That's right. He's also current as monk. A monk? So how did he get assigned to this particular case anyway? It seems he's very devoted to furthering his studies as a prosecutor. He wanted to learn how the crime scenes are investigated here, so he just showed up. So he's curious, huh? He looked at the entire crime scene over quite earnestly. And just as everyone was all ready to call the case, oh my god. So he changed it right then and there. Just as everyone was ready to call it a case of involuntary manslaughter, this is most certainly a murder, the cruel act of an impure soul. I have no doubt in my mind that someone did commit a murder here. That's what I think it's going to lead to. Oh, the music, the Kearney's music as well. But I know it's not Trucy. That's the thing. That's what he said, just like that. That he volunteered himself as the prosecutor for this case. This is kind of scary. With that shortage of prosecutors right now, the prosecutor's office was glad to have him. So Trucy was arrested for murder all because of this guy, huh? I have to say, he's definitely not your typical prosecutor. Are we going to see him now? We haven't seen this court in a while. He says the court is where his victims receive their last rites. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Wait, no, what he's saying is that the victim of the murder receives their last rites by their send-off is sending maybe the accused to jail? Where the truth is, yes, that's what he means. The criminal is judged and the victim, so that's what he means. So it's like a final thing for the victim that died. I thought he was going to say that, like, he was going to say this stuff to Trucy, and it's not happening. Receiving the last right in the court allows the victim to finally rest in peace, or so he claims. He's going to have a lot of trouble in uphill battle with being even, like, a likable character to be, isn't he? Because he's going to, like, say stuff to Trucy or something, and it's going to bother me so much. Hopefully it's not that bad. So to him, a trial is like performing a funeral rites for the victim. That's actually a very interesting character trait. That he sees it as, like, this is like a proper send-off for a victim that their murderer was caught. That's certainly a unique way of looking at it. Yeah, it's a very interesting character trait. His name is Nayuta Samadhi? Nayuta Samadhi. What? Nayuta Samadhi? That's right. What, do you know him or something? Oh, I guess you could say I've heard of him. Have we heard of him? Yeah, he's pretty famous. Really? Yes, they say he travels the world solving difficult case after difficult case. Where there's a hard case to crack, he's called to prosecute it. Wow, sounds like he's going to be a tough to beat. Yeah, it definitely sounds like they're building up another, like, uphill battle. But we love uphill battles, and we're gonna try our best. I can't believe this. Oh? I have to stand in court against him. He seems like a very kind and gentle person, though. Okay. He's very polite and understanding to everyone he talks to. Okay, that's interesting. To have someone who, like, is so scary and so, like, dominant in the court case, or means, like, like, so famous, be, like, such a gentle soul as well, Which I guess, like, you could say, like, Phoenix is a gentle soul, and he's, like, won more cases than anyone literally in this game, I think. So he's a pretty agreeable guy, then? Yeah. He's bound to see what kind of person Trucy really is, hopefully. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for as well. Because if you are reasonable, you take one look at Trucy and talk to her and realize she's not bad whatsoever. But don't they hate defense attorneys in Crane? Would he even listen to what we have to say? Oh, yeah, very interesting point from Athena. I never even thought of that. Like, what does he think about those social rules and stuff like that? I don't see why not. He certainly seems like the type of person who would. Okay, so maybe he's like one of those people who thinks differently then, because if he's world traveled as well, and traveling the world, especially if, like, again, I don't ever want to, well, no, I think it's one of those things where, like, I have no problem saying that, like, the very, it's not the actual religion itself, and it's not, like, well, it technically is a part of the religion that's ingrained into the society as well. Like, it is a culture that they built up on this weird pretense of hating defense attorneys that has led to almost the death of a 9-year-old. Like, this is true. This is a fact. And the death of Phoenix. So, like, yes, I think it's 100% okay to criticize the way that works. Like, 100%. And I think in this case, I wonder if, like, being world traveled makes him see, like, parts of the other world too, where he's like, okay, maybe, like, allowing, like, a defense attorney to die in a trial is not really, like, the most appropriate thing in the world at all. That's just, you know, putting it mildly. Even so, do you think you could do us a favor, Emma? Could you tell Prosecutor Samadi about Trucy, about what's a good person? Wait, do we know Samadi? Sada? Why do I, like, I feel like I recognize the name, right? Am I wrong? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to, like, maybe I don't, because I legitimately, like, don't, because, you know, they're, like, there's some, they do, like, pun names sometimes and stuff like that as well, but maybe I don't. Maybe it's just one of those things where, like, it sounds similar to a name I've heard before, maybe. Of course, leave it to me. I'll make him understand there's no way Trucy could have committed a murder. Fantastic. I did read that other part as well. Could you tell, yeah, sorry, I messed up that guy. That's my bad, because I was thinking, like, it's just the name. Could you tell me, Prosecutor, somebody about Trucy, about what good person she is? And she is a good person. She's such a good person. Such a good person. I hope he listens to reason. Me too. This is looking pretty bad, Apollo. They're calling it a murder. I ain't even got proof. What are we gonna do? Look at the bright side. That's what... Oh, okay. The bright side. What bright side? I mean, I do think this is a really, like, big character trait for Apollo as well. He's always been kind of like the person that's kind of like, you know, been very like, we got to keep going, you know? And I think that's what made, like, that's what makes Dual Destiny so powerful to me, is because he turned into the character that, like, was mysterious and kind of downtrodden and had lost faith in some situations where he wanted to gain that faith back. And so it's so great to kind of, like, it's great that he had that story, and it's so good, the story that he had in the arc he had in the last game, but it's also good to have Apollo back kind of, like, being that driving force in this as well, you know what I mean? It's so good. 100%. Well, the good thing is about there being proof is that there has to be a point to the real killer. Yes, that's such a good point, Apollo. If you can find out who that is, we can prove Trucy's innocence. Fantastic. Oh, hey, you're right. Which means our objectives are clear. We had to find two things. Proof of Trucy's innocence and evidence of the true culprit's identity. Yes. You know what, Apollo? You're starting to give me a glimmer of hope. And that means there's only one thing to do. Emma, would it be alright if we investigated the scene? If I said no, you just do it behind my back anyway, right? Oh my god, Emma, she knows us very well. Would I do something like that? Guess the jig is up. Alright, but I better come along. No problem. Who knows what sort of mischiefs you get up to if I'm not there to keep an eye on you. Love it. Mischief? Sounds like Emma trusts you about as far as she can throw you, Apollo. He has to be known to move things around at the scene of the crime, you know. And what about you? You used to do all kinds of forensic tests on things without permission. There's nothing wrong with that. After all, forensic is always on the side of justice. I love to get, like, a lot of characters do explain away their actions, but I love in this case she's like, you know, hey, glasses down. Hey, what I did was right. How's that remotely fair? I love it. Okay, so I think this is a really interesting what Apollo said. Not only is it one of those situations where, like, we have to, like, prove that Trucy is a good person, basically. Like, it's a very moral way of looking at it. I think also at the same time, too, and an emotional way of looking at it, too. I think also as well, Apollo looking on the bright side of this is actually looking at a very logical perspective as well, because beforehand, to prove that it was, like, an actual real accident that, like, wasn't her fault, that it wasn't voluntary manslaughter, we would have had to look at, like, the files of who worked on all the things, who worked on the... who changed the swords around, who could have access to the swords, all this stuff too. We still have to look at that, by the way, 100%. Who has access to swords, who has access to all this stuff, we'll have to look at that stuff. Who, you know, designed the pulleys, who did all this stuff, you'd have to look at all that stuff. Where did they buy the pulleys for the dragon, everything. But now that we know that there is, like, evidence at the very least that there was a murder, there's also a way to prove Trucy's innocence by proving that there was another murderer. I think Apollo looking at that from a very bright perspective of, like, well, that means there's another murderer there. That means we can find evidence of that. It's actually, like, very great from Apollo, in my opinion. We already talked about all this stuff. Can we present something to you? I don't do this all the time, but I might do this now. It's been 2 years since we first met. Only 2 years, man. But you're still such a newbie to me. Yeah, that's not fair. I'm not even the newest lawyer in our office anymore. Yep. That's Apollo and me, just 2 newbies working our way up. Oh, look at you two, the newbie duo. Must be nice, right, Apollo? I'll be a duo with you, no problem. That's great stuff. Okay, so I guess we're gonna move to because we examined this area already. I guess we could move to the dressing room. It's probably the best idea. Because she asked us to get a notebook as well, right? In the black bag. Do you see a black bag? Was that a black bag or was it a black box? There's a black suitcase over there, I guess. Yeah. April 27, Penrose Theater dressing room. The dressing room just looks the way it did before the incident. All these items look kind of lonely about their owners. Well, honestly, yeah, like it's like magician's tools without a magician, right? We have to find Trucy's notebook for her. Yeah, that's one thing she said right away, right, for us to find. Let's see. She said it would be in her blue... Did she say a blue handbag on the table? I said she had a black handbag, but did I just get that wrong? Oh, no, it's a black notebook. Sorry. We should see what else we can check out while we're here. 100%. Yeah, I thought it was going to be I thought it was a black bag. It's a blue bag with a... oh, okay. No problem whatsoever. So let's go from top to bottom then. Let's just start over here and just go all the way around that we can as well. Yeah, let's go. Trucy put some posters up, I see. Oh, here's one of the Troop Grammary. Yeah, very cool stuff, isn't it? Troop Grammary, Magical Menagerie, huh? Looks like a bunch of folks dressed in outfits, a bit too gaudy for their age, if you ask me. But isn't that pretty much how all the best magicians dress? Was Troop Grammary really such a big deal back in the day? I guess so. Everyone in the country knew them back in the day. They had great tricks. Like making a building disappear or escaping the safe to drop from a helicopter. That's insane. At that point, I would be calling for, like, you know... actually, I wouldn't do it because I'd be afraid to call for anything, you know what I mean? And honestly, like, just let the magicians live, you know? Let them live, but, like, it'd be terrifying. Wow, I was in Europe at the time, so I had no idea. But even if you know about them, then they must have been really, really famous. I used to see them a lot on TV, and I think it was back then. I was in junior high. The one in black was the original leader of the Troop Grammary, Trucy's grandfather. His name was Magnifique Grammary. The one in pink was the mustache, that's Jacques Grammary, Trucy's late biological father. Oh look, there's Mr. Mysterious. Mr. Rios. So this poster's from the back when this poster's from back when he was a member of the Troop Grammary, huh? It obviously shows that once again Trucy like wants to see this every single day as well. She loves this troop. Trucy said he left the troop after he was injured during a show or something, right? Oh, it's a piece of evidence. 13-year-old poster added to the court record. Mr. Rios was injured during a show 13 years ago and left Troop Grammary. So that's the information we want to have, is that he was injured beforehand. We have all this other magical stuff here that look like it belonged to Rios. Look at all this stuff. They must belong to Rios. Wow, look at the colors on that briefcase. Do you think he carries that around with him all the on his time off? Well, during the shows, he wears a mask to hide his identity. If he carried that briefcase around when he wasn't working, wouldn't it give him away? Probably. We gotta change gears and look at things from a different way at all times like this. Oh yeah? Meaning... Well, what if Mr. Mysterious, I can never... I'm gonna just say Mysterious. Mysterious wore his full costume at the time, even when he wasn't working. And the briefcase wouldn't have given him away one bit. Well, true. No, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Okay, she's not wrong. You can't deny the facts. I'm getting pretty good at this turn you're thinking around stuff, huh? Oh my god. The kind of like Ace Attorney logic in the court case, you know? You're getting very good at it, Athena. She's like a little kid who's learned a new trick and couldn't wait to try it out, honestly. Honestly, that's a very sweet thing, though. Athena can do whatever she wants. Always. She's that type of character to me. Oh, look at the dove up here. It's a dove. Trucy must use it in one of her tricks. Yeah. There's another bird cage next to it. I wonder what's in that one. Cuckoo! What? Is it like a parrot? What in the world was that? Should we check it out? I guess maybe we can't yet. There's like this cage over here. Ooh, look at the adorable little bunnies. Rabbits, huh? I used to have a pet rabbit. Really? You? What? Why wouldn't Apollo have a pet rabbit? You shouldn't look like the type. You think so? I think Apollo is like a sweetheart amongst sweethearts. What do you mean? What's wrong with me having a pet rabbit? Aren't people who have rabbits as pets usually the quiet, sensitive type? Well, Apollo's a loud, sensitive type. Well, pardon me for being so loud and insensitive. I think he's a beautiful, beautiful man. We love Apollo. Who's in here now, by the way, as well? We should take a look at this too. So just Emma Sky, a detective. It looks like she finally became a forensic investigator, like she always wanted to be. Mysterious, a victim in this case, a magician who took the stage with Trucy. I wanted to meet him. I really did. And we read the other ones, right? Yeah. A man somehow connected with the magic show. He showed up. Yeah, I remember we read these as well. My boss, he's taught me a lot about what it means to be a lawyer. Yes. Athena Sykes, the youngest lawyer in her agency. She apparently studied psychology in Europe. And there's Trucy, a particular set of circumstances that led her to being adopted by Mr. Wright, a world-class magician on the rise. I love the way you see his perspective about her. You know what I mean? He does think highly of her, 100%. Look at all this stuff. I bet it belongs to that bunny assistant we saw on the show. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Does she really need all that? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so much makeup. When it comes to sheer number of items, your desk back at the office isn't any better. I think it's like, you think she's a lot of makeup? What about all your stuff? Those things are natural accumulation of 2 years of work, and they're all necessary. Really? Instant noodles and crackers? Oh my god. Reading him his rights right now. Of course, I need this when I have to stay in the office all night prepping for the case. Wait, so it's closed packets of noodles and crackers? That's totally... I think it's totally fair game. I think it's totally fair to have in your office. Would you guys agree? I think at your workstation, having just like a packet of crackers, some noodles, just in your workspace, not a bad thing, you know? And the comic books too? Now, that's not essential, but maybe they are in a way essential? Oh, of course I need those too. Manga these days are super realistic and informative. I need them for research. Uh-huh, I see. So you research street fighting and the funnies, do you? Street fighting comics. Again, look at her face as well. That's funny as well, because I think it's one of those moments where like, the game is totally like self-aware when it comes to stuff like this too, and I love that. Like, you know, because he's going like, man, dude, we didn't need this much makeup, and then right away Athena's like, dude, like, do you need so much comic books? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because they're not essentials doesn't mean they're not fun to have around, you know? And again, it's just poking fun at each other. It's always like, you know, poking at each other and stuff like this too. It's never like anything that's like too serious, which is what makes it enjoyable. I think it's like arguments between two people like that. Like if Athena was literally just like, you read comic books? How stupid. Like then it becomes like, oh, that's not enjoyable to watch. But the fact that she's like, you know, she only brought it up because he brought up the makeup, that to me is like funny. You know what I mean? It's like a little playful jab. All these flowers. Is that saying Pauline Wright? Oh, these are from the prosecutor Gap. Really? Roses, huh? How like him? Pretentious. Pretentious? They might be pretentious, but you know what? He makes it work. Honestly, he does make pretentious work, I think, right? That wasn't a that was a Paul, I've noticed this for a while now, but you get awfully prickly when it comes to Prosecutor Gavin. You think so? Apollo went through a lot with Prosecutor Gavin. He went through a lot. I mean, I don't hate him just because he's beautiful. I mean, sorry, don't hate him just because he's beautiful. What's Apollo gonna say? That's not it at all. I mean, that's what's so funny is that like he went through like so much, right, with Gavin. And in fairness, like I think it's a combination of a lot of things, right? It's like he was a thorn in Apollo's side sometimes. He was for a long time. And, you know, even if like it's one of those situations where in the end everything worked out a lot better, you know, you're still gonna have like a bit of like, huh, that guy, you know? Of course you are. But then of course Athena's like, it's because you think he's beautiful, which I would say that Apollo's a very beautiful person as well, so. Huh? Aren't these nine-tail flowers? Nine-tail flowers. You know those flowers only grow in Ninetail's Vale? Interesting. Oh my gosh, you're right. There's a card here, a letter to go with it. Wait. From Jinxie and Damien Tenma? Good luck for that's so nice. The fact that they're like again, when they talk about making the world feel alive, Nothing like ever like is like lost in us, right? When it comes to stuff too. And of course, like that whole thing with like Jinxie was like such a great case as well. It really was with the remember she was the one who kept like slapping the scrolls on her head and stuff like this too. I think again it makes the whole world feel so alive that they're still thinking of her like this too. This is awesome. Mayor Tenma and Jinxie, huh? What does the letter say? Let's see. Oh, there's a message for you in here too. Really? Please tell Mr. Demon Lawyer I said thank you for everything. Okay, Mr. Demon Lawyer. Thanks to him, I overcame my fears and now I'm not afraid of you. That is awesome. You see the growth here? And guess what? I've even become friends with Yoka like to the moment and gone, okay. I mean, look, everyone needs a hobby. Everyone needs a hobby, you know? I'm just happy again. Once again, they show the growth of a character. This world feels so alive, you know? No matter what happens, I guess she'll never grow out of her demon obsession. Honestly, though, like, if she's doing it in a healthy way, you know, doing a bit of ghost stuff and, you know, yokai, why not? I love that. Both, you know, this is what I'm saying. When I say like a world feels alive, it's not closed off. The cases don't happen in a vacuum. There's history. There's a world to this. Whether it be Emma coming back or like talking about, you know, previous cases, talk about Prosecutor Gavin, people remembering Trucy and Apollo. It's all like makes sense within the world. Yeah, I love that. Who are these from? Hey, these flowers, they're from, Wait, really? From La Moroa? I can never pronounce the name properly as well. There's so many different, like, again, until I'm blue in the face, like, the idea of, like, you know, but isn't this not, like, just, like, you know, this is just another grammary. This is, what's the name again? It's like Thalassa? This, yeah. Never heard the name before. But like, what's so crazy about this is that this right now is like him talking about his mother. Or at least like what the, yeah, like, sorry to stop me in my tracks. It's just like, it's so interesting that like still there's like flowers being sent here from La Moroa. And it's Apollo's mom, right? She's a famous singer. They call her the Siren of the Ballad, and she's pretty popular. I think it's just so difficult, you know, as we know, he's always like, we know about all the stuff that happened with the familial stuff, but Apollo knows like absolutely nothing about this. And like, I love Apollo and I love the relationship that they, you know, the relationship that Trucy and him have. So like, I kind of love the fact that they don't know, but they still treat each other in such a beautiful way, like they are siblings. Yeah, I know, it just stops me in my tracks somewhat. Well, we met her through a case I headed up once. It's so crazy that he still doesn't know all this stuff though, right? And like, we as the player know this. Wow, your circle of acquaintances is bigger than I thought. La Moroa, I don't know why, but her songs really touch me for some reason. I wonder why, Apollo. I wonder why. I hope she's doing well. I wonder freaking why. It's so crazy that that's like, yeah, it's his mother. You don't even, you think of it that way. And the thing that ties him and Trucy together, you know, and at least half biologically, you know what I mean? Man, like, all this is amazing. It's so amazing. Look at all these costumes. I bet they're all Trucy's. Oh, could you tell by the scent? Are you like some kind of bloodhound or something? I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe this the general like height of the clothes. I'm her assistant. Oh my god. Well, yeah, true. He is her assistant as well. That's really fun. He's like, oh, these would fit Trucy, you know. This is a book from Bonnie, at least. Grammarly Land. What's this? A script of the show? It says Bonnie, so it must belong to that bunny assistant we saw on the show. 9:30 a.m. Mysterious transforms into dragon. Trucy's hat trick. 10:20 a.m. Bonnie's teleportation trick and Trucy's escape trick. 11 a.m. Mysterious's fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. You and I got to see the first two parts up at the end of 10:20 a.m. segment. But this Mysterious's fire trick, we didn't get to see that part, so he was all ready to do that at 11 a.m. Yeah, because they canceled the show after the accident. Wait a second. Is this going to be proof that he wasn't supposed to be involved in this, possibly? Like, why would he was getting ready for his next trick. He has nothing to do with this. Because they say Bonnie's teleportation trick and Trucy's escape trick. They would have mentioned his name in it, so he wasn't involved in that trick whatsoever. So maybe that's proof that he wasn't involved in the trick. He doesn't know about the fire trick. This would be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. Oh, I wonder if they're also saying that... I wonder if this is going to come up in a way where it's like showing that, like, even though this stuff is dangerous, Trucy was prepared and this troop was prepared for any eventualities of any danger. Come to think of it, Mr. Mysterious turned into a dragon. It breathed fire, didn't it? Coin tricks and fire tricks are Mr. Reese's specialties. Maybe they had some big finale planned? Where Mr. Reese and Trucy would face off in a grand magical showdown after his revival? There we go. Bonnie's script for the fire trick was cancelled due to... that's my thought process. This is going to come back up in those two ways, possibly. That's to showcase that they actually did have... We're prepared, or to showcase that he wasn't involved in that trick whatsoever. I think that's almost everything. I know the bag is, like, probably the main important thing. That's why I went around to everything else first. Yeah. Oh, here's that handbag Trucy was talking about. I feel a little funny about the digging around in a girl's purse. Yeah, 100%. That's totally normal. It would definitely feel weird. I guess it's okay to open it. Should we ask Athena then if you feel weird about it? Which is okay to feel weird about it, 100%. Like, you know, you don't want to invade someone's privacy. After all, she did ask us to. But now you, Paul, let me do it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. 100%. Let's see. Nope, not this. What's this? Oh, wow, she has... Oh, Trucy, you are back. What? What is it? I want to see it too. No, it's clearly like something that like maybe we're not supposed to see. That's funny. She said it was a black notebook, right? But there's nothing like that in here. Maybe Trucy was wrong about where she left it. No, someone probably took it, I'd say. Let's keep looking around for it. I'd say somebody freaking took it at that point, right? Unless there's like a black notebook, like, you know, somewhere in the room. Oh, it's here. But I thought oh, we clicked on this already, but now we're going to look at this here. So maybe this is the black notebook? I say we take a look through Mr. Reese's mysterious things too. Hey, is that notebook sticking out from behind the briefcase? You're right. It's practically screaming over here. Oh, look at me. Do you think it could be... Oh, wow, Athena. Our hunch was right. It's Trucy's notebook. What's it doing mixed up with Mr. Reese's stuff? Good question. Trucy's notebook added to the court record. Trucy's ultra-important notebook, it's mixed in with Mr. Mysterious's belongings. Really cool-looking notebook, by the way. Really cool stuff. It's locked. I guess that means we can't read it. I don't know what kinds of secrets are in there to make her want to lock it. A girl her age needs her privacy. Yeah, 100%. Everyone needs their privacy 100%, especially, like, you know, when you're growing up as well. Besides, everybody has a secret or two they don't want others to know about. I also agree. And I think it's one of those cases, like, as I think Athena's, you know, very maturely said it here, like... You know, even as an adult, you're entitled to your privacy, but like as a teenager as well, like definitely, I think it's one of those situations where she needs to have her own privacy. If there's anything in there about kisses or crushes, I think Mr. Wright would cry. Imagine Mr. Wright if like Trucy like had a boyfriend. Well, we've examined just about everything. I think looking through the other people's stuff was so thrilling. Like I'm doing something naughty. I mean, maybe halfway that. You know, you never know. I know what you mean. Just don't go poking around in my things at the office. Why? What do you have to hide? I don't think I like how her eyes lit up all of a sudden. Yeah, it's like, again, if you talk about like the kind of like energy that like her, Trucy, and Apollo have, saying to her not to look through my stuff is the worst thing you could do. Like, and if you talk about sibling energy, I'm not saying they like it's always gonna be sibling energy, but like if you talk about like if you ever went to your siblings and say, do not open this box, you know. I'm guessing a lot of siblings will be like, what's in the box? Anyway, we better get this notebook to Trucy. So we're done with this now? Okay, fair enough. We did a full exploration of here. We got some evidence. So to go back to the detention center, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything else. We can do one more sweep, maybe. Just to see. Perfect. It sounds like we have a... Yep. I like that they showcase that as well. Let's get back to the detention center to check on Trucy. Can we present this book? Is that what we have to do? A mysterious locked notebook. I wonder if there's anything about me in there. Like the one time I ate her pudding. Oh no. I wonder if she was mad at me for doing that. I mean, probably for a little bit, you know what I mean? But you can usually get over those things after a while. Don't worry. If there's one thing I know about Trucy is that she's more mature than some people I know. Honestly, I think Trucy would have forgiven her very quickly. So what do we do here? Do we... Maybe we have to go somewhere else? Maybe we have to go back to the right ending? Oh, the stage! We have to explore everything first of all. Yes, of course. Okay. April 27th. Penrose Theatre. Stage. Alright, let's get down to investigating, shall we? Just making sure you don't move anything or I'll get in big trouble. Perfectly fair, Emma. Fine, I promise. To only move the things I have to. Well, I have my own investigation to conduct, but let me know if you need anything. I love that Apollo's always like, oh, she's just standing there. It's so cool. Full frame character. It's been a while since we've done anything in any investigating. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right in. You do remember how to do this, right? If you don't, I can give you a quick rundown. Did they expect us to go to the stage first? Should I have Athena give me a rundown? I think it would be okay, right? Because we just did it. Unless there's like extra dialogue, then maybe it's funny. Yeah, I guess I could use a refresher course. Then take a seat, Mr. Justice. Professor Sykes here is going to learn you a thing or two. Oh, brother. What did I get myself into? We're going to Athena's class. Do you remember how to go about examining the crime scene? Let's see. I just placed the cursor over what I want to examine. Press X, right? How'd I do? I suppose that's acceptable. What else do you know about examining? If I recall correctly, we can also take a closer look at a certain notable areas or objects. Very good. Now, do you know how to change perspectives? With our... Oh, we couldn't do that. We would have seen if we could do that, I think. By changing our perspective, we might even find new evidence. Marvelous, Apollo. Top of the class. I'm proud to have such a model student. And thanks to you, Professor Sykes here has just remembered how to investigate, too. You could have just asked. Very cool stuff as well. Okay, that's actually good, too. And we can go, talk to I guess like we don't need to talk, so I guess it's more just examine once again. So we can change our perspective here as well by doing this. Oh, very cool perspective change. This feels wildly different than what they even usually do. Okay, let's start as usual from edge to edge. We have one of these in our office too, don't we? Yeah, that poor magic prop uses a shelving unit. I kind of like to see Trucy perform this trick sometime. Well, we both know you'd be the one in the box if she ever did. I feel bad for the prop, but it can't stay as the shelving unit in this case. Because we actually have to, like, maybe examine it. What's this? Oh, hey, this is a curtain. I wonder what's behind it. The backstage area. There's magical equipment and stuff like that back there. I'll open it a crack and check it out later. You weren't thinking of opening that curtain, were you? Who, me? Would I ever do a thing like that? Rats. Guess I'll have to ask her to open it for me later. Fair enough. Bit by bit, let's look at everything we can. Again, we have Emma watching over us as we're doing this, which is fair enough, you know. But Apollo's going to try and be as sneaky as possible. Emma, can I ask you a question? Shh. This is the best part. Oh, she's having her fun time with forensic stuff. She won't even look at this way. Look this way. What great prints, another set from my collection. Hee. She certainly seems to enjoy her work, doesn't she? This is what they call a set piece. It's a piece of on-stage scenery. It's a really well done piece. It's like really like abstract, but also very colorful, really noticeable, and the wings are actually really well designed. Look at this scene. Yeah, it suddenly fell down and the body was revealed, if I remember correctly. Just as the brave heroine screams, the spell on the dragon breaks. Losing his wings, the dragon falls to the ground. The moment marked the collapse of Trucy's magical kingdom. Magic, huh? Yeah, sure. The timing was so perfect, I'd be genuinely surprised if it was magic. I should like this too. And we see, like, you know, that the different personalities as well, right? Athena has like a very, like, you know, mystical and magical personality sometimes too. Apollo's like a little more serious at times too as well. Oh, I've seen something like this before. It's like that game where you stick swords into a barrel unit until a little man pops up. Is that What's that called? I think it's called something different in different places. It's like barrel something. It's like there's like a pirate in the middle and you I know what she's talking about. Huh, that doesn't sound like any game I've ever heard of. It definitely is something. I don't know what it's called. It's like Treasure Hunt or like Pop-Up Pirate. I think it's Pop-Up Pirate. Yeah. Really? It's pretty famous in Europe. Did you have anything to play with as a kid? That has to be a thing in America as well, though, Pop-Up Pirate, right? Maybe it is just a thing in Europe. I don't know, maybe. Oh, you know, us simple Americans, we're happy with just a hoop and a stick. I don't know. I think it's like one of those things where like, it's like, everyone has different things where they grew up, right? 100%. I think there's always, like, it goes both ways sometimes, because I feel like, you know, a lot of times Americans will like be like, you know, some Americans will be like, did you guys, like, when I've had Americans talk to me about Ireland to be like, did you guys have like electricity back in the day and stuff like that? Or like, do you guys have this? And you're like, do I have chocolate? It's like, yeah. Do you guys have like space heaters? And you're like, yeah, we do. But then I also think there's a thing as well where like, you know, even though like America's like on the news all the time, I think there's like a thing too where like sometimes Europeans might say something like, wait, this is what happens in America? And Americans like, well, you have to understand like this infrastructure is a little bit different and like it's a little bit different in this place. And like I think it goes both ways sometimes where people like don't understand sometimes each other's cultures and stuff like that. It's all about just being as respectful as possible. That's the thing. The video camera's pointed right at the stage. I wonder what it recorded. I want to take a peek, but Emma would probably say something to you. Can I say as well about that thing with the culture thing? I remember specifically, I watched a live stream one time, and this dude just like blatantly said he said he went to Ireland, and like he said he walked by like a place in Dublin, and he was taking pictures of like all the different homes and stuff, I guess, because they were so interesting and weird, and he said the people like were like, these are our homes. These are just our homes. Why are you taking pictures of them? When I know that wasn't true. Because if you first of all, like, we have homes just like anywhere else in Ireland, but like it was one of those things where it's like if you did that in like especially Dublin, like they're not gonna be like, why are you taking pictures of our home? They're gonna say, get the fuck out here right now. Why are you taking pictures of my home? That's the first thing you're gonna say. Like, he must have found like, you know, he must have like hit his head and went to like leprechaun land or something. Because when I heard, I was like, what? No, that's not what happened, you know? Because I think it is one of those things where like, you know, people have a perception of Ireland as well, where it is like, you know, still like just green fields and everyone's like very like, you know, how is it going? Top of the bar, you know? Which is funny, you know? It's funny. Wow, this residue data is so fascinating. She's in her element. She loves this. She's so fixated on the bloodstain data, her eyes are getting bloodshot. Quick, Apollo. While Emma's off in forensics Fantasyland, let's see what's recorded on the camera. That's actually a really good idea. Because she's so... Oh, the actual scene as well. We have actually video of the scene. And it's so smart because she's so preoccupied with the stuff that she loves as well, that she's obviously not going to notice this happening. But we're going to get to see this anyway, right? For sure. We don't have like noise, any audio on it. This trick is still like really cool if it was pulled off, right? It's a really cool idea for a trick. What was that? The shadow. Did you see that? Oh no, it was Mr. Hat getting pulled up, sorry. Yeah, it was Mr. Hat getting pulled up. And then there's a stab. I felt like when that happened, it felt like something wrong happened, right? In that moment. Oh, poor Trucy. And she's so excited about this trick. This is the moment that breaks my heart where she's like, oh, here's the big moment. You can see in her eyes, she's like smiling, and then... And look at how she changes here now, look. The moment of shock into, oh my god, what's happening? And thank God she got out of the way. Do you think someone called her to get out of the way? Because like, she got out of the way right in the same amount of time, right? Because if someone was trying to frame her for this, there's no way that they would just kill her with this freaking gigantic dragon. So I wonder if when she looked to the side, did someone say like, hey, Trucy, over here, you know? I wonder. It's the same video we saw on the TV where we can't see the body at all. Apollo, did you notice a strange shadow in the footage? I thought that was Mr. Hat, no? No, why? I don't think it was my imagination, but I'm pretty sure I saw something. A strange shadow, huh? I wonder what it was. I thought that was Mr. Hat getting dragged up, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's something else entirely. Let's check this side now. There's so much to check. So this is the actual body outline that we're seeing here. So this is the coffin the dead body appeared from. I actually haven't examined that yet. Would you two mind giving me a hand? We can definitely do that. 100%. No sweat. Juicy said the coffin was supposed to be empty when she stabbed it. So how did the victim even get in there? I bet there's a secret door or something. That's honestly a good way of thinking. Yeah, look at the trapdoor, yeah. It sure is an oddly shaped thing, isn't it? Who knew it would unfold into something like this? Well, I heard that since it's used for magic tricks, the left and the right panels are made up to be interchangeable. How that helps with the magic trick, though, I have no idea. So they're interchangeable, so you could change them around, like swap the sides? Interesting. I'm sure they make use of it in some way we can't even imagine. So they didn't add that to the court record, though. I thought that would have been a situation where they would have added that to the court record. But I'm always waiting for anything to be added to the court record. Wait a minute, it looks like the bottom of the coffin opens too. A secret door. Let's open it. Let's try opening it. Well, look at that. It seems to lead to someplace under the stage. That's right. It goes to the understage passage. It's pitch black down there. Hold on. I think I see something glowing faintly. It's hard to make anything out from up here. Should we go down? If you try to go down there, the magicians will get mad at you. Well, we have to investigate, right? Apparently there are things down there that will give away the secrets behind their tricks. I honestly, like, as much as I respect Trucy's magicianry and I would never want her to ever, like, have, like, stuff being revealed, I hope she would understand that, like, this would be probably the difference between her, like, being, you know, put away forever, you know? And not being put away. Well, that sucks. It's all right there and we can't even check it out. That's kind of crazy, you know? And I guess it is, like, one of those situations where, like, maybe because we don't even have full permission, like, it's just, like, basic permission from Emma. But yeah, we want to check it out, right? We would. We're definitely going to have to examine that under stage patch at some point, though. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. And again, I understand. You guys know I'm so respectful of Trucy's passion and her career. But, like, it's the difference between, like, her going to prison or not. I really feel like it is. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what we have to look at it in this way. A white outline, huh? So this is where the body was. What exactly did it look like just after the incident occurred, I wonder? I have a photo of the crime scene. Oh man. Here you go. It's never, like, any easier, I feel like. Because I feel like you become desensitized in a way, but, like, it's never easier to see, like, just, like, someone lying dead on the ground. Especially someone who had, like, clearly, like, you know, so much life ahead of them. Oh, wow, it looks like he was stabbed in the back. This is definitely what killed him. So what way was he standing there? Are they going to say he was, like, standing with his back to the side? Because she's stabbed from the side. He would have had to have his back standing to the back of the thing. And, like, another thing is like, I think he was probably dead before he even entered the box, right? Because here's my thing, right? Or maybe he wasn't. I'm not sure. But, like, if he was at least awake, I think he was asleep before he went to the box, or at least unconscious. Because, like, you know, if he was awake, like, knowing how dangerous these tricks can be, and knowing how dangerous these, this whole thing can be, I think he would have, like, tried to call off the thing. Or I think he would have had the wherewithal to leave the box, right? He would have jumped down below. Like, if he was so that's why I think he might have been unconscious. You guys agree with that, right? Like, I think like, if he's an experienced magician, he would have been like, even if let's say he woke up, like, as he was put in there or something like that, and he's like, wait, what happened? Like, I think he would have like been like, wait, oh, the crowd noise. Oh god, I better, like, get out of here, or at least, like, slam on the box and be like, stop. I know that you could say, well, he's just waiting maybe till the rubber sword comes through and then he'll leave afterwards. But still, it's a very interesting, like, thing to think about. Like, was he awake? What would be, if he was awake, what was his thought process here? You know? What's this thing around his waist? It's like a hook, yeah, maybe for his trick later on in the show. It's a stunt harness. A stunt wire can be attached to it so the person can float and fly through the air. Come to think of it, he did fly in Act 1, didn't he? Crime photo added to the court record. We definitely should be reading that as well, though, by the way. So the crime photo says, the body that appeared in the coffin, there was a harness around his waist. Yeah, so it's about the harness. I think the stab wound in the back has to come into play as well at some point too, right? And this back point as well. Oh, look, there's a secret door in the back panel of the coffin. Oh, it is? Yeah. Do you think Mr. Mysterious could have entered the coffin through here? If he could have done without Trucy noticing, then maybe. It's like the two magicians trying to out-magic one another right under each other's noses. But I feel like the way that the Gramarys are, though, would they interfere in each other's... I know he's not a Grammarye. He was just in the part of the troupe, but like the way that it goes, would he have done that? You know? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like something he would do. For my money. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is behind the dragon as well. Wow, this dragon is a lot more handmade than I expected. Yeah, well, I can't tell you how many hours I put into that freaking thing. It was Apollo who painted this and did this? What, you made it? Trucy had me help put it together. That's so sweet, though. You know, as a assistant, no, that's so sweet. The idea of him putting together this dragon with her, like, probably late nights and everything, like, that is amazing to me. Like, that is, like, such a beautiful thing to me. She has you wrapped around her little figure, doesn't she? Yeah, honestly. Trucy's smile has some kind of magical power that makes it impossible to say no. Honestly, it's because you freaking adore her, and she is basically your little sister. You know what I mean? That's why. Like, let's be honest here. That's such a sweet idea, like an interaction and way they put that. Like, he literally was probably like up late at night helping her with this thing. Like, and I think that's why I love the way they show that with Trucy and Apollo, is that like they do like have this thing where like she clearly like in a very comedic way tortures him. And he also like will be like, oh my god, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Do I have to help her? But in reality, like whenever someone talks about the relationship or where they talk, you know, when they get down to it, they care about each other so much. You know what I mean? And they show it through these little things here like that. There's a sword here. Oh, the blood. It's covered in blood. Must be the murder weapon. Jesus. Trucy said she was sure she switched out with the rubber sword. Unfortunately, this one certainly does look like it's made of rubber. It doesn't look like it's made of rubber. Hey, Emma. Were there any fingerprints on the sword? But she had gloves on, right? Let's see. According to my data, no prints were found. But that could be because the culprit wiped them off. But Trucy also wears magic, like gloves in her thing. Yeah, she wears gloves. Kind of think of it. Trucy was wearing gloves during the show. Yeah. So she certainly wouldn't have left any prints either. 110%. Wait, is that it? Something isn't right. It just doesn't make any sense. What's the matter, Apollo? You're making that weird thinking face again. You mean when he thinks? How did what should have been a rubber sword get switched with a metal one? Plus, the timing of that dragon set piece falling down, it happened right as everything went down. Wasn't that just a little too convenient? Yes, it happened right exactly at that moment. And honestly, I'm starting to think then as well, you see the space behind this dragon? Like the stuff that you could get done behind this space in the process afterwards as well. Like with everyone panicking and everyone running around the place, no one's going to notice you going behind and like, you know, doing some stuff there. IMO. Something just isn't sitting right. Ground control to Major Apollo. Can you hear me, Major Apollo? Oh my god. Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you, Athena. Athena, I think I've got it. I think somebody switched Trucy's rubber sword for the metal one. Does he think he... Oh, okay. Maybe during when the thing fell to pin the murder on her. I do think that as well. I agree. I do agree that this is... there was a setup, 100%. Someone switched the swords? But when could they have done that? When everyone was too busy to notice. Oh, okay. After the set piece fell. So what probably happened was... Trucy's put in the rubber sword. And... when it opened up, he fell down. But we can't see the body. They're not showing the body on purpose. So what if like they switched the swords afterwards? And what if he was like already dead possibly when he was in the box? Because remember we said like he was either unconscious or dead. Because if he was awake, there's no way he was letting this happen. So what if we say after the set piece fell? After the set piece fell, everybody in the audience was kicked out of the theater. In ensuing chaos, somebody could have carried out a cover-up operation. Any one of the stagehands or show personnel could have done it before the police arrived. So what you're saying is... somebody actively trying to frame Trucy for the crime? I think so. Some disgusting individual is trying to get away with murder. Yeah, I wonder if that's how it went down. I wonder if it literally is like he was unconscious in the box. Because we said he's either unconscious or dead in the box, right? Then he fell over. Then when everyone was running away... because in the video, there's no blood on the sword when she takes it out. Like, let's just be honest here. There's no blood on the sword when she takes out that sword in the video. There's not. There's no blood. So did someone stab him afterwards? And then swap the swords around? So it looked like she used the rubber sword. Or she used the metal sword instead. But why would Trucy just put it back in the holder as well? That doesn't make any sense to me either. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So it's someone related to the show. There's definitely a very high chance of that. Now if we could just figure out who it is. Wasn't there another place to investigate? Let's see. What else do we need to do on the stage? So can I say as well, the only person we have related to the show are Mr. Renties. What was the pun again? Someone said the pun and I slipped my mind, guys, because I know I remembered like the other different puns. Like, I don't know what this pun is. Bonnie? Oh, Five Nights of... No, I'm joking. It's a bunny, right, of course. And then like, this is mysterious. So I forget this one. I think it was like... Miss Retinas? Mr... I'll look it up again. Someone literally said it. And I remembered this one, but I forgot this one as I was recording, so that's my bad. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, it's the only people that were involved in the actual thing were Mysterious, but he's gone, and these two. So do we narrow it down to those two possibly so far anyway? Let's see what else we need to do on the stage. Emma, did you find any fingerprints on the coffin? Actually, I haven't checked yet. I was going to do that at the end. I can save the best for last. I love how enthusiastic she is about this. She loves this stuff. She really does. We aren't exactly talking about a dessert here. But we are. Would you like to partake in my delicious dessert? I don't mind sharing. Oh, you're going to let us see? I mean, if you're going to share your passion with us, I'm totally on board with it. Oh, yes, please. There's always room for dessert, right? All right, I guess I'll join you two. Athena's enthusiasm is so infectious all the time. So could you show us how you check for prints, Emma? Sure. Let's start with the basics. As you know, fingerprints are an excellent way of identifying someone. That's because no two people have the same set of fingerprints, not even twins. So if you find any prints on the coffin, they might lead us to the killer. If the culprit was dumb enough to leave prints behind, sure, but this seems like a very elaborate setup, so I wonder if that's like the opposite, like, because there's no fingerprints on the sword or anything, right? So I wonder if we'll be able to find something. If we do find something, that's going to be amazing, right? Fantastic stuff. Let's go ahead and dust for prints now. Let's see. Oh, we actually get to do it like last time. Remember we used to get to do this stuff in Apollo Justice as well? This looks like a promising spot. Try dusting the area with fingerprint power. Move the cursor around to keep pressing X until it's thoroughly covered with powder. When you're done, below with triangle to get rid of the excess powder. So you have to go like this. The powder in this bottle is all we have to work with. If you run out, try blowing on the area. Any excess powder will be returned to the bottle. Alright, I think I'm ready to give it a try. It's a very weird way of doing this because like it's you have to stop every few seconds, I guess. We don't have a lot, so maybe I should try and cover as much area as possible. Ah, there we go. You found some prints. Looks like the fingers of somebody's left hand. Now let's try to compare these with ones we have on file. First, switch to Analyze mode with L1 to select a print. So do we have any prints? Let's select the print you want to analyze and confirm it with X. So we have to analyze this. Doesn't look like there are any prints here. Wait. This one here? What did it mean? Like, she said I compared them on file? Oh, okay. I've got a pretty clear print here. I wonder whose it is. I have the prints of everyone involved in the case right here. Just choose the person whose prints you'd like to compare the sample against. Well, last person who was in the coffin was... I love the UI here. It's so good. So there's job, magician, sexist. Yes. Interesting. Job, forensic investigator. Okay. Let's analyze this now. Such a cool UI, isn't it? It's so cool. Bingo. Looks like the prince belonged to the deceased Mr. Oh, so that makes sense. That makes sense. But it's a good tutorial on this as well. It makes sense that he would have his... Which means he would have been a little bit conscious then, right? If he had his hand up against the box then, so he would have been like at least lucid for some part of it then. So maybe I'm wrong about the whole like him being maybe unconscious thing. Well, if he found Prince here, or maybe he could have been lying against it too. Maybe we can find them elsewhere on the coffin too. Possibly. Guess I'll try dusting for more prints. So I guess we could try like do the middle part more first, right? I think the middle part's always good. And then go around it then as well. I love that they showed the dots on the other side too. Oh, you get to replay it as well. Fantastic. So we could just do everything. Is that not enough of a print? Oh, switch to analyze. Doesn't look like there's any prints here. What about this one here? Try this one. There, I found some. Love our design. These prints are apparently mysterious too. Shall we try looking for prints on the outside of the coffin now? Yes, let's. That's probably where the most telling prints will be, right? Putting it back together. This time you'll be able to rotate the coffin and look at it from different angles. That'll give you a chance to examine it thoroughly. You can use R to turn the coffin in any which way you like. Holding R while using R will let you jump right to where the action is. If you ever get stuck or confused, you can always reset things with R3. Okay, and if I find any prints, I'll choose one to run against your data, just like before. So, the back door I think is the most important part, right? Would you guys say? Because this is they made sure to call attention to this. But you don't know if it could be this in general. It's really cool the way they're doing this now with the UI and being able to turn things around as well. I actually quite like it. There is something there. No, maybe there's not. Yeah, maybe it's not back here anyway. I thought that there would be something on the back here, but I guess not. We can try here. You know what I mean? I thought like the first place would be at the back door, but I get like, cause like that'd be maybe something that people switched. Maybe the side as well, where Trucy didn't push in, which would have been this side, right? Watch it just be the front. Watch it be the front. I wish you could kind of like hold it and move it around the place, honestly. You know what I mean? Just hold it and then blow, I guess. Not there. Is it gonna be on the bottom? But I wouldn't know. Oh, unless someone moved it from the bottom, possibly. Let's try the bottom. No fingerprints there either. But wouldn't they just be over here? So what's the best is just gonna be the front. No? You know what? They maybe want me to look as where... but Trucy didn't have any fingerprints on that part either, though. I guess we can look here, too. Like on this panel up here. This is a... Oh! Oh! The one thing I didn't look at. What's that expression? It's always the last place you look. I didn't like what that comedian said. Well, it's not gonna be in the first place I look. I mean, it can be, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like when you're looking for something for hours, it's not gonna be the first place you look. It's always the last place you look. Well, yeah. Of course it is. This bridge is too faint for analysis. Try applying... Okay, so we have to... Maybe this one? There, I got a print. Alright, I'll just check it against my data. Huh? That's funny. It doesn't match the prints of anyone involved in this case. Interesting. So someone who wasn't involved in the case, like, touched this. Really? None of them? How can that be? Now then, I wonder if I can find any more prints. So that was a dead giveaway of where prints could be, so I wonder if they're going to do that again, possibly? Like here? I see, this might just be a shine. No, that was just dust. So we got a kind of, is that, that's just, yeah, that's just the dusting as well. We kind of got an idea the first time. Here. Because of that. Should we try the sign? Where do we... They said there's one thing you use to jump to the action, right? I don't... I'm just gonna cover this trapdoor as much as possible here. Nothing there. So we clearly see fingerprints, unless like they want us to explore more of this up here. Unless we can analyze this. How's this, Emma? Oh, prints with the base of the palm. You want to get prints from the fingertip. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, it's not that either. Is there more up top here? Maybe I have no idea. It's a very like, and maybe like I'm like, you could just say I'm dumb, but it seems like more vague than I thought it would be. Wait, is that something? No, that's another dusting we can do as well. Oh, it's actually like more visible when you do this as well, for sure. Oh, okay, I just missed that completely because I thought maybe it was just a piece of dust, I guess. We should definitely get into the habit of like clicking triangle whenever we get the chance. I found another print. Judging for its position and location, it might have been made with someone when someone put the lid on the coffin. Let's see now. There was one part during the show where someone put the lid on. After Trucy had gotten in the coffin, that would have been Bonnie, right? Therefore, this print should belong to Bonnie. It should be a perfect match, right? Sorry, the mic hit me. I hit the mic, I should say. The mic can't physically hit me. Yeah, so that makes sense. We saw her put it on as well, right? And she doesn't wear any gloves. Looks like the print belongs to that bunny girl. Couldn't think of it. She did put a lid on the coffin just showing. Yeah, she has no gloves on. So if she was the one who, like, say, swapped the swords, it would have had her fingerprints on them as well. That's probably when she left her print on the lid. It looks like that's about all the prints we're going to find. To sum everything up, the prints were found belong to Bonnie and Mr. Reese, right? Mr. Reese and the bunny assistant Bonnie. And some third unidentified person. Yes, there is someone else who wasn't a part of this case whatsoever. But that's strange, we didn't see anybody else up here on the stage during the show. Yeah, but they're not talking about, this dude, right? Because he would have been probably fingerprinted as well, right? He would have been. For sure. Does this mean some outsider was up there? Somebody unrelated to the show? I guess we can't really say at this point. Well, thank goodness we didn't find any of Trucy's fingerprints, right? I mean, that is like less incriminating, but she was wearing gloves, right? For sure. But that's only because Trucy was wearing gloves, yeah. Hey, Emma, there's something else that's been bothering me about the prints. Don't you think there's just something odd about Mr. Reese's prints? Odd? What's odd about them? Well, Mr. Reese was standing at the coffin facing forward. He would have left the prints like this, right? When we look at the actual prints, yeah, they're facing both sides, right? Oh no, he's facing the other way. They're facing backwards. Doesn't that make doesn't make a whole lot of sense? What do you know? You're right. I wonder how they ended up like that. Maybe he's accidentally facing the wrong way at first, but then turned around later. I don't know, because they seem so experienced, right? They seem so experienced to me. No, the coffin is too small for a guy his size to turn around in. But all he would have been able to manage is maybe a little bit of twisting. Then it really doesn't make any sense, does it? I think I might have hit on something major here. Oh, I have just one more question, Emma. Oh yeah? What is it? Mysterious was stabbed in the back, right? But if he was standing in the coffin like this, how would that have worked? That's the thing. It's like he would have had to have back to his back towards Trucy. For sure. All right, that. Is Emma going to have some sort of explanation? The lead prosecutor has an explanation, actually. Really? He thought that the victim might have tried to dodge the sword as it came in the coffin, and then he turned his back to the sword, I guess? So maybe he twisted his body and the sword ended up stabbing him in the back. That's his theory, anyway. Is the fact that there's no blood on the sword, is that not just like a telltale sign that there wasn't Trucy who did this? Is that not just like, would that not open and shut the case? There's no blood on the sword in the video. I see. I guess that sounds plausible. Fingerprinted results added to the court record. In addition to the prints from the victim and Bonnie, a set of unknown prints were found on the top. Thank you so much, Emma, for that. Well, I guess that about wraps up our investigation at this stage. Actually, there's still the area behind that curtain. Don't you want to know what's back there? Sure do, but Emma told us not to move or touch anything, remember? Oh my god, Emma's staring right at us. Would you quit staring at me? Fine, I'll go open it for you. Wow, look at you flaunting your lady killer eyes. I have my ways, I love that, that's so funny. I won't only do this, I won't get charged with animal abuse for not throwing you a bone. That's a good insult. I guess puppy eyes can be just as effective. He's like, yeah, your lady killer eyes, but what if they're just puppy dog eyes? Which honestly, you know what, works both ways for Apollo. Not that he's an animal, you would have puppy dog eyes though. Alright, I'll be back. Oh wow, look at this, right behind the curtain as well. Oh, look at the guillotine. Well, go on and investigate your heart's content. But before you go moving anything. I know, we'll be sure to ask first. Oh, by the way, just examine the backstage and move to the area beyond the curtain. Beyond the curtain. Okay, time to get investigating. So there's a whole other area here as well we can look at too. So what we're learning now is that, from this case, is that he was in a weird position of the box. The prosecutor's going to say he was dodging the sword. We saw no blood on the sword as Trucy pulled it out. There's blood on the sword now as it's put in the actual, the holder. The thing falling down was way too convenient. There's fingerprints on top of the box that belong to somebody we don't even know about. And the other fingerprints kind of make sense apart from, I guess, the Mysterious's fingerprints. So there's definitely some sort of, like, I think, setup or some sort of conspiracy going on here for sure. So, in terms of examination, what about this area over here? Oh, this is just looking at this area again. Okay, that makes sense. Perfect. So, how do we get to... I thought we were, like, right in position for the curtain before. I guess we just have to look over here, I guess. Seeing the stage this way kind of breaks the illusion, doesn't it? It just goes to show that some things are better left unseen. Oh, listen to you, sounding all grown up and stuff. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have some cynical one-liners of your own someday too. Oh boy, I can't wait. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. Let's examine the backstage area. Wait, if I remember the ages though, right? Oh, well, Apollo would be 20-something now then, right? He would be. Oh no, Apollo's like 20... Wasn't it like 23 in Apollo Justice? Am I wrong? So he'd be like 25 now. Am I wrong? Maybe you guys can tell me the ages. Yeah, so that makes sense. I was gonna be like, are you much older? Yeah, he is definitely much older. Look at that. Hey, there's a coffin back here too. It looks like there's a stuffed dragon inside. No, wait, look, it's just an illusion. Really cool artwork again. See, the dragon looks like it's inside. But it's really just painted on the front lid. Oh wow, you're right. I love they're like, you know, geeking out over this like really cool, I guess, I don't know, a really cool like secrets behind all the stuff. That's really something else. If the show hadn't been cancelled, we might have gotten to see this trick too, huh? And where are we going to the understage area? I guess we should look at everything else first before we click on the understage area. A dustpan, a broom, and a bucket. Guess they have to use these to keep the stage tidy. I doubt that's what this bucket is for, though. That's the fire bucket for the trick later on, right? For sure. See how it says fire on it? Oh, I guess it's a fire bucket then. Yes, I heard the theater owner went out and bought it just for the show, for like a safety fire bucket for maybe there was any like fire mishaps, but I think a fire extinguisher might work best. When he heard there was going to be a fire trick, he flew to the store to get it. But can a little bucket like this really put out a raging fire? I'm guessing the owner thought it could. But it doesn't look like it's been used. In fact, the inside is caked with dust. What was the point of even buying the bucket then? So they didn't actually use it for they weren't going to fill it up for the trick maybe? Wait a minute, that means nobody actually prepared for the fire trick after all. So, does that say that no one cared about the safety, or does that say to you that like no one thought that he was going to get to that point? I have a feeling this might be an important bit of information we can add to the court record for sure. A bucket that should be used in a case of fire. Not only was it empty, but the dust lines in the inside of the pail. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if like it was for someone who thought to themselves, like, well, they're not even going to get to this point, you know? What's this thing? It's a winch. I'm guessing they used to be to use to pull Mr. Hat up. Oh look, there are two winches. One back there and one up here. Apparently each winch was rigged up to something different. One of them was used to hold up the dragon set piece, while the other was connected to that weird puppet up in the catwalk. A weird puppet, huh? We better go check out the catwalk later. So it's gonna be like a investigation of the catwalk. Catwalks are always very scary to me. I think it's just because like of well, not scary, they can be cool as well, but like, you know, it's always like, oh, what's happening up there? You know what I mean? It's always like very dark and kind of spooky, and I'm also afraid of heights too. So it's a guillotine, but it's not real. It's just another one of Trucy's props. I wonder if it's supposed to appear in the show? Huh, you mean she didn't mention it to you? She said you were going to make a guest appearance on stage for a guillotine trick, and we know what happened last time. He was like terrified. I still can't get him the image out of my head of like Apollo with the guillotine as they're like, yes, yes, yes. That's what I think was happening. Like they're cheering it on as he's like crying. No, I definitely remember not agreeing to something like that, losing my head on national TV. So the only other place we have to look is over here then, right? There's a sign here that says understage. I bet these stairs go to the understage area. Trucy told me she and her fellow magicians call it the Abyss. I wonder why. That's a really cool name for it, right? Who knows? Maybe it's because it's really dark down there or something. Like, especially like when it's related to like my magic stuff, I guess. I bet they got all kinds of magical goodies stashed away down there. Come on, let's go check it out. Are we able to? Huh? The door's locked. The entrance to the Abyss is barred to mere mortals like us, huh? That's one way to put it, Athena. I do love how playful Athena is with her words as well, you know? She's always having like a very, like, I guess I said, her enthusiasm, her fun that she's having. She makes things so bright and cheerful and more upbeat. Oh well, that's what you call a swinging abyss. Very well, Apollo. Very well. Is that, wait, did we investigate everything here? Oh, the catwalk. Okay, we're actually going to the catwalk now. It looks like this ladder leads to the catwalk overhead. Do we really have to go up there? Why don't you go up there and check it out, Athena? I'm sure you'll like it, the air up there. Honestly, I'm afraid of heights too, so I just said Apollo not wanting to go up there. Huh? Where in the world did you get that idea from? Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm an airhead? How rude can you get? I love that she like realized again their playfulness with each other, but again, like Athena, you know, took a second to be like, wait a second. Are you saying this to me? That's not what I'm saying at all. Now up you go. I'll just wait down here. I think it's like maybe like she's used to you guys playing, like making fun of each other sometimes. That see what happens is Trucy makes fun of Apollo. Apollo makes fun of Athena, and it's a cycle of sibling danger constantly. You know? Okay, now I'm starting to get the picture. You're afraid of heights, aren't you, Apollo? Honestly, as I said, I am too. I understand. Come here now. This is for Trucy. She needs us, so up the catwalk we go. Well, guess it's time to put on my big boy pants. Honestly, Athena's like open face here, and her like how bright she is like would make me forget about my fear of heights. I'd be like, let's go. Oh, cool animation. Man, look at this as well. Mr. Hat! Are you alright, Apollo? You're white as a sheet. Ha! I'm fine. Don't look down. Justice, don't look down. Those green things over there look like cushions. I guess one of them was used to absorb the force of impact when Mr. Hat was zipped into it, yeah. Because I think like it makes sense because he would probably like, because he's wood, right? So shattering off a steel catwalk is not great. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's go check it out. Way over there. I do like that they're showcasing Apollo's like fear of certain things like heights and stuff like that too. Like it just makes him more human, right? And he's already like very human to me already. So what's this over here then first? These set pieces look like a rabbit and a moon. Although they kind of look like they could be a duck and a cross-on too. True. What do they look like to you, Apollo? The Grim Reaper and a guy falling to his death. Apollo being like instantly turning into like doom and gloom mode. You know what I mean? The complete opposite of Athena here. Come on, let's wrap this investigation up before your imagination catches up with you. That's a very rare thing for Athena to be the one that's like, jeez. You know what I mean? I mean, she does react like that sometimes, but like I feel like, you know, it's very rare for her to be with Apollo and not just like have something playful to say back. Instead, she's just like, okay. Wow, that's a big pulley. Yeah. If this was, you know, it has to work perfectly, this thing. So whoever like did this, probably like worked to like make sure this malfunctioned. Looks like it's connected to the one of the winches down below. The dragon set piece must have been hanging from this. Okay, we have some information on that too. Let's look at it again. It looks like this is Mr. Hat. Oh, yeah, one was for the dragon, one was for Mr. Hat. It looks like Mr. Hat was rigged to the smaller pulley. Let's see. How did it go? After being blown a kiss, Mr. Hat goes wild, and just as he's about to stab the coffin, he gets pulled up for the catwalk, and the smoke screen was to hide his ascent from the audience's view. I think that's what the shadow was to me anyway. And then we have Mr. Hat himself. You doing okay, Mr. Hat? What's that? Look, Apollo, it's Mr. Hat. I love the way they don't just say, like, it's Trucy's doll or whatever. Like, they talk about it as it is, like, Mr. Hat, you know what? I love that. Is that ripped? The cape looks ripped, right? He's attached to a wire. Actually, didn't Trucy say something like... They quickly raised Mr. Hat up by the wire into a cushion on the catwalk. Maybe the stagehands pulled Mr. Hat up and left him here afterwards? There's a rip. That wire attached to his back. It looks like it's just connected to one of the winches down below. Huh? Mr. Hat's cape is, or who did this to Mr. Hat? Did that happen during the show? Again, I feel like it's all these mishaps. The reason why I think this is clearly tampering is because, like, Trucy's a really good magician, and she would not ever, like, she would not leave things up to chance like this and mistakes like this because she's representing the Grand Marie troupe. That's odd. It almost looks like it was slashed with a blade. Yeah, she would not. She would not in any way, ever, shape, or form, ever let Mr. Hat's cape get ripped up. Ever. How in the world did that happen? She'd never forgive herself if she did. Oh, Paul, I see you're trying to take all this in your stride, and I respect that. But seriously, you're trembling like a newborn fawn up here. Honestly, I can imagine him holding onto the railings, in my head. Shaking. Get it together, man. I can't help it. I'm really bad with heights too, though, as I've said. And like to the point that like I've said it before, I think, but I remember when I was like with my friends one time and we were you know that you could go through like a field or something to like get, a shortcut, right? It's not a field that was owned by anybody. But I remember like we were climbing off the wall into the field and everyone jumped down and I was the last to jump down. I remember my friends were like, literally just jump down, dude. And I was like, dude, like can anyone just like, like catch me? And they're like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, just jump. And eventually one of my friends came over and like literally like grabbed my hand and like, helped me down. And then when I looked back up at the wall, it was like, oh, that wall is like 6 feet. You know what I mean? At the time, I was so scared of that idea. Like, it looked a lot bigger from where I was standing, right? But like, it was barely like a few inches taller than me. Like, probably like legitimately like, at most 2 inches taller than me, you know? And so, like, if you think of it that way, it's like crazy what like your fear can do, right? For sure. So I totally get Apollo like shaking in his boots. I would be shaking up here too. I'd be like, I'd feel it all through my body. Hey, look, there are cushions attached to the underside. What are you standing over the way over there for? Come on. Oh, come on over and look. You're not going to try and push me off, are you? Seriously, Apollo, come on. You'll be fine. Here, do you want me to hold your hand? Honestly, that would help. Yes, actually. Yeah, honestly, it would help if you don't mind. I just said about my friend too. It helped. It does help. Looks like you're right. And Trucy mentioned something about this, didn't she? The cushions. That cushion was supposed to absorb the force of impact Mr. Hat was pulled up. Well, I think that about does it for the catwalk. Do you think we missed anything? Nope. Didn't miss a single thing. We're all done here. Yes, sirree. If I was like, I don't even care what's up here. We're going. Well, obviously he does care, but like I think he knows we saw everything. I take it you're ready to go down? Yep. I think we better. I feel fainting spell coming on. Oh, brother. You don't need me to hold you on your hand again, do you? It is helpful. It is helpful. I find that it was always helpful like, with stuff like that. But again, I always like try to avoid being in situations where I'm like in seriously high heights, personally. But then again, he needs to do this for Trucy, so of course he's doing it. All done? Pretty much. There's just one thing. The door to the understage passage was locked. Any way we can get down there? That place, they locked it up as soon as we police finished our investigation down there. If you want to check it out, you'll have to ask the magician. So you're talking about either Trucy or Bonnie, I guess? Well, Trucy's at the detention center, so she can't help us. I guess we'll have to look for somebody else from the show. Okay, and I better get back to my own investigation. See you around, Emma. Thank you so much. Thank you so. This was so helpful. So amazing she is. It's too bad about the understage area, but at least we learned a few things. Yeah, like one of your greatest fears. She's like, I'm going to use this to my advantage whenever possible. I wasn't talking about that. I meant how all the behind-the-scenes stuff is set up. Let's see. We found out there are 2 winches backstage. Mr. Hat was rigged to the first winch. And the dragon piece was attached to the other one. And both of them were used during the show. Right after the body was discovered, the dragon set piece fell to the stage in a very convenient manner. That's the one thing we have to mention, very convenient. And in the chaos that ensued, the culprit could have switched the rubber sword with the real one. So it looks like the best way to prove Trucy's innocence is to identify the real killer. Yes, that's what we're doing now, yeah. It's your dude. It's the dude, right? Is it the dude? Yeah, because he has the blanket over his, or the jumper over his shoulder. I didn't realize he was wearing like these, like very 2000 era shorts, you know, that are like, I'm going golfing. What a complete and utter mess. This is all great, just great. That Wright kid is bush league, small potatoes, a half-grown has... Don't even try. Dude, you're done now. You're done. There's somebody on the stage. I wonder who it is and what they're doing. Maybe we should go talk to them? So this is going to be someone we're going to get to talk to as well. I think like it's a... I actually have been recording for like a long time now. Oh my god, it's almost like 2 hours. At least for me, my recordings. I took a while to do that what you call a thing. Dusting for fingerprints, yeah. But But I think what we're going to do is we're going to end the video there, and we're going to come back in the next one, and I think it's one of those situations where, like, we've done a lot today in terms of investigation. I definitely want to see if we can, like, because I think we're going to be, like, going to, this is a character we're going to be introduced to for, like, the first time, basically, next time, and I'm very interested to see where he's at, and also, of course, too, I feel like we still have to, like, get, I think who we're going to get permission from is Bonnie, right, to go down in the basement. So we have to try and go into the basement as well. This investigation seems like it might be long as well. So what we basically learned in this episode is, first of all, we got to see Emma Skye, which was fantastic. And it's really cool to see that she's gone up in the world. She's now full-fledged forensic investigator. That's awesome. But also we got to find out like a little bit more about like what's going on with the case and like the behind the scenes of the stage work as well. There's a lot of theories that could go through your head, and I feel like there's like a lot of things that might be wrong or right. We don't know yet. But we know the urgency is updated because we know Trucy is now being trialed for murder, which is, again, different from involuntary manslaughter, just different. Whilst both are bad, in this case, it's one of those situations to prove, like, to disprove involuntary manslaughter, as we said. It's the thing we could do this actually would be pretty simple in this case, because we could just say, you know, all we'd have to do is prove that she had the rubber sword in her hand, and prove that, or somehow prove that she didn't switch it, which would have been difficult. But we also, like, with the stage stuff, we proved that she got all the right pulleys, that she hired all the right people, that it wasn't her who, like, did the pulley system herself. We have to prove we just have to prove that she runs a tight ship. That's all we'd have to prove. Which, you know, can be difficult. It would be difficult in a way, but, like, I think it'd be easier in disproving a murder. But now we have to, because it's a murder case, Apollo was really right when he said this, we have to prove there's another killer. That's what we have to do. We have to see who the other killer is. It could be anyone at this stage. Like, we have no idea, because there's fingerprints even there that we have people that we don't know as well. Obviously, like, the people that are going to be involved in this case are, like, this dude here that's in front of us here, the rich guy. There's going to be Bonnie, and Emma's probably going to be on the stand at some point too, probably. And also, obviously, Trucy's, of course, involved in this as well, and the person who we don't know who they are. There's going to be so much, like, that's involved in this case as well. And because we found out it was a murder case, now obviously said the urgency has gone up as well. And when we were doing this investigation, it seems to me that the take that Apollo was looking at this from is that all this seems too convenient. The stage dragon falling down right as all this happens. It's too much of a coincidence. There was the fact that the video didn't even show what happened to the guy as well. We can't see that either. Mr. Hat is up there too. So obviously whoever's, like, doing this pulley system, and I think the pulley system is going to be very important, because we saw, like, the dragon falling. Not only that, but we saw the Mr. Hat being slashed to bits, and also Mr. Hat is, like, been placed somewhere else that wasn't where the cushions are. He wasn't, you know, he, by all means, he should be, like, you know, if in a non-touch crime scene, he would be still up against the cushions. So I think the pulley system is going to be a really important thing in this. Someone who was working with the pulley system was inaccurately using the pulley system. That's the first thing I think of. So I think that's going to be very important. And I do agree with Apollo that it's too convenient that the dragon fell and all this stuff too. There's also the positioning in the coffin, or the magic box, where he, like, where his hands are placed. And of course, like, the prosecutor, like, makes a good point that he would have tried to dodge the sword as it came in. But then my argument back to that is about emotion, is about a person's personality. Like, if this really experienced magician was part of and we have it here, by the way. We have it in our evidence. If I can get it up here, actually. In Bonnie's script, he knows he's not a part of this teleportation thing at all. His name is not even anywhere near it. An experienced magician, if he was put into that position, I guarantee you, in my mind, I'm not guarantee you, but because I don't know him personally, but I think most people would just be like, dude, hey, I'm in here. Or they wouldn't be there in the first place. Like, why would they be? Unless they're trying to sabotage it. But then, like, it's like, why would he try to do that? Unless there was something he would, like, is trying to sabotage or something. That doesn't make sense that we'd be in there in that position as well. There's also, like, the element where the swords were kind of switched as well. And to me, the biggest thing is, and it could just be just for the video, they don't have blood in the sword, but, like, in the video, there's no blood in the sword when she takes it out. But on the actual sword itself, over in the actual sword holder, there's blood all over it. And Apollo brought up a great point as well, that if the dragon fell down, like, at that point, you could do anything you wanted behind there, because there's so much panic and everyone's trying to deal with stuff that nobody's going to, like, think in their heads, wait, check behind the dragon quickly, see if someone's doing something. So I think that, like, whoever did this could have, like, gone behind the dragon under the cover of dust and screams and people running all over the place, the security trying to push people towards the door, which, you know what they were, could have put the sword there, could have swapped the swords then, could have done all that stuff. And then they could have, like, you know, done the stuff with Mr. Hat. There's, like, all the stuff that, like, the panic would have made everyone go crazy and stuff like this too. But then it leads me to believe that, like, Bonnie couldn't do it in that way too, because then I'm thinking to myself, she would have had to, like, you know, run behind the thing, climb up the thing. And I think if they were trying to, like, you know what I mean? If Bonnie did it, then they would have had to, like, the security would have, like, looked for Trucy right away and looked for Bonnie right away. That's what they would have done. Some security would push people to the door, and then the first priority would be find Bonnie and Trucy, see if they're okay. Because in that time, I don't think she would have had enough time to swap the swords around, then climb up the ladder, you know, move Mr. Hat, You know what I mean? Do all this stuff as well. Time the pulley system, all this stuff. It just wouldn't, it doesn't seem plausible to me that she could have had the time to do that and would have been able to do it on notice. Now, it's Ace Attorney, so like, you know, what like if it is Bonnie, because right now the three people we have involved in this are Bonnie, this rich dude, and the guy with the fingerprints on top of the box, which could be whoever, right? So if it was, let's say it's Bonnie, right? Then it would have been, it would have been like, Ace Attorney could come up with a reason where it's like, it actually makes sense. And also at the same time too, it's like, whoa, that's, you know, I didn't expect that, you know, and that's Ace Attorney all over. And if if you're talking about motivation, I don't know what her motivation could be. But if you're talking about the rich guy here, which his name is Mr. Rentines, he already sees her as a hack. And he already put so much money in this as well. So I wonder if money could have been a motivating factor, but then we don't know if like that's what something he would have done. Like, why would he try to do that? Like, is this something he would have like purposely done to ruin his own show? But that could be a case. Maybe he just didn't want the Grand Marie to be a part of this. Maybe he thought that they just wouldn't make any money. Maybe he wanted to sabotage it right away. But then again, we have no evidence tying him to the actual stage right now, unless like it is his fingerprint on top. But I feel like, you know, Emma might have fingerprinted him as well. There's a lot of things here, because then there's all like there's that's the first two people that could be, right, because they're involved in it. Then the third thing is, the person with the fingerprints, right? Unless that is him, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know what angle they're using in this. So yeah, I'm not sure who did this, but I think that what we can say for sure is someone is setting up Trucy, like we thought, and someone is someone has wanted this to turn into murder. And wanted Trucy to go down, and wanted to ruin the Grand Marie is what I'm guessing, and wanted to ruin her career, because not only is like, you know, is she going to go away forever, the Troop Grand Marie is done. If she goes to prison forever for this, the Troop Grand Marie is done forever. It's done. Like it will die in like at that moment, because Trucy won't be around to keep it going, and neither will Mysterious. So there is that too. But yeah, that's my thought process. There's something happening here with the convenience of the pulley system. There's something happening with the sword not having any blood on it. There's something happening then with them trying to like frame Trucy. And then this prosecutor they're talking about as well, who is pretty famous apparently very gentle and very nice. He believes it's a murder, but there's a faith from Emma that like and from Apollo that like once they see Trucy, there's no way they could believe she's actually a killer, which I agree to. I agree to. If you believe she's a killer, there's something wrong with you at that stage. Or maybe just like, you know, he's like, it could be a thing where like he wants to find out the killer so badly that like maybe he like, you know, accusing Trucy could be the way to find out the killer too. But yeah, Apollo's right in this. The way that we save Trucy is to find out who actually killed the person. That's the end of this. And that's a crux of our investigation. Who actually killed Mysterious? I think in terms of like what I liked about this trial as well, or like this part of the case, I guess, is that we got to see Emma again, which is fantastic. We got to introduce to like a few new characters. There was a lot of mystery to it as well. But I also like always love about these, you know, the how alive these games feel, how the world never feels like it's insular and like in on itself. The characters who were from the past are like sending flowers. There's people who still care about Trucy. There's like, you know, the stuff with Apollo's, you know, mother and things like this too that he still doesn't know about. Like there's all these little things that go into it that are actually like really, really fantastic stuff. Like super fantastic. And it makes like, you know, investigating with like so much more fun, because everything does feel lively, all these characters. And like even being with Athena, she like is so bright and cheerful and funny that the interactions between her and Apollo are like so great. You know what I mean? There's never a downtime with these characters because they always have something fun to say. And I think that's such a great part about this too. And yeah, as I said, the mystery about it too is always like something intriguing. Like every time you find a bit more information, you're like, oh, maybe it could be that. Maybe it could be that. And that's just a really beautiful part of playing Ace Attorney. I really love it. And of course, the locations are great too. Love investigating this stage. Guys, thank you for watching this. Thank you for supporting me as always. And actually, let me go over and get the names of the Patreon members and stuff like that too, because my phone is dead. Had to get the Apple iPad. The Apple iPad. Okay. Thank you so much to Tyver too, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost from Nizuma, Felicious Felix, Yule, Raj and Usta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasparian, Jared Beanham, at the highest here on my YouTube, Roar Grimm 7, Glasgow, and Lucinagi. I'll see you so soon. Bye bye.